A lot of the information out there talks about how great rent to rent is, and it focuses on how to get the deals and then how to get them cash flowing, and that's fine. But what about getting the right properties? On this video, I'm going to share with you my ideal deal and what you need to be looking for to make sure that the deal you get actually works. Simon here, back with another one, and I started this channel to help as many people get financially independent from properties they don't own as possible. And there's over 400 videos here, and we consistently drop more and more. And that's why, I say that I am the king of rent to rent. If you disagree, comment below. Now, there's a lot of content out there that helps you get deals or tells you what to do once you've got the deal. But what about what kind of properties are actually going to work for rent to rent? On this video, I'm going to share with you 5 things that I look for when I'm doing deals so that hopefully you can learn something and you can implement this stuff. So number 1, houses. Yep, I love houses. It's not like apartments and flats don't work. But houses, you have so much more privacy. You have so much more space. You often have a garden. Most houses are freehold, so you don't have to contend with the lease. And I personally find them way better to manage. So the first thing I would be doing if I was you is focusing on houses. Now, if you see an amazing apartment that's going to work for SA, you won't find many apartments that work for HMO. Then maybe you want to move forward, but make sure that you check the head lease to ensure that they allow serviced accommodation in the apartment, and be realistic about the access in terms of where you can have a key safe and the neighbors. Because if you've got a communal entry where there's 20 apartments and you've got neighbors left, right and center above you, next to you, then you probably want to steer away because you will have problems later. And if the manager of the apartment complex that manages the block has an issue or a complaint, you're going to get kicked out. So just stick with houses wherever possible. Number 2, condition. You've got to find the sweet spot. You want the properties to be not in that good condition that they're going to fetch a premium rent and just go like that. However, you don't want them to be too tired where they're not going to be fit for purpose, or you've got to bother buying new bathrooms, new kitchens, and doing too much work. Now, of late, I've been focusing on new builds, because the great thing about new builds is everything's brand new, good condition. In terms of their EPC, energy performance rating, it's a lot better, so I spend less on bills. And I find that I can just flip these really quickly. I can get the keys on a Monday and I can have it live by the Wednesday, no problem. Now, what I would do is, just because a property is brand new and in great condition and is going for a premium, doesn't mean it can't work for you. Just do your figures, make sure it stacks, and if it does, buy their hands off. Because you've got to think about it. If property A requires a £5,000 investment in 2 weeks, all right, and it's £100 less rent, property 2's going for £100 premium, but you can move quickly, immediately, and have no real investment, then which one do you want to go for? Number 3, location, location, location. Yep, you can have the best property in the world, but if it's not in the right location, you're going to struggle. And I talk about green flags in my book. There's 10 green flags that you want to look for in terms of location. To give you a few, I'm talking about you want to be close to big major companies, close to a major city, close to major transport links, close to a university, a hospital. And they're just a few of the location green flags that we're looking for. So when you're looking for the deal, you want to make sure it's a house. You ideally want it to be a new build or good condition, and then you need to make sure it's in the right location as well. 4th thing that I really like is parking. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be off-road parking. I'm not a big fan of permit parking, but on-street parking that's free and flexible works perfectly. And this will be a massive benefit, whether it's to your HMO tenants or whether it's for your service accommodation guests, because parking is an asset, particularly if you are in a central location. And last but not least, it's a bit of a red herring because, yeah, the property is important, but what's equally important is the landlord. And in rent to rent, you need to have the right landlord that's the right fit. And over the past years, I've realized that they fit into three main categories. You either are looking for accidental landlords that may have inherited the property, or they've had to move to Australia quickly and have an empty property that they can't let. They fit into motivated landlords who, for some reason, can't fill the property, or they're struggling, or the tenants have trashed the property and now they're extremely motivated. And the third type, often missed, is sophisticated landlords that understand that time is worth more than money. And they're happy to hand the property over to you for you to do all the heavy lifting while they sit in the Bahamas collecting less rent, but guaranteed monthly rent through doing zero work. And this is why rent to rent is so powerful. Now, a lot of people, out there, they don't understand the true benefits of rent to rent. Why? Because they don't own no properties. And some of them that do own properties are so stuck in their ways, they're just being so proud. But the fact of the matter is, people want to be hands-free. They don't want to be managing 100 properties, at least once you've built up the momentum. But we do, because what we want to do is control assets, create cash flow, and create wealth. So if that sounds good, you're in the right place. Make sure follow those 5 things when getting your deals. If you have to compromise on 1 or 2, that's cool, but that's what I'm looking for a 10 out of 10 deal. Comment below, let me know if I've missed anything, if there's anything that you look for, or maybe you disagree and you say, Simon, you're talking rubbish. All right? Comment below. I'll see you in the next video, and don't forget to subscribe.